Hey, what's up, YouTube? The New York Knicks schedule just dropped, and there's 4 games I definitely want to see. Let's talk about it. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. For those that have been here already, I know it look a little different, and for people that's your first time, tell me if you like it or not. I know there's a lot of red, you know what I'm saying? I like it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get right into the schedule of the New York Knicks. Well, the schedule was dropped Friday, and we all knew that our first game was against Boston. Matter of fact, October 20th. And I was thinking, this is a game that we gotta win. I know it's not gonna really have a factor onto how our schedule go. How our season go. But it's a game I say we gotta win just to come out on a good foot and shut everybody up, because the Boston Celtics really was a team in, how can I say, shambles last year. Most of their players was hurt, and not to mention they traded off Kemba Walker after acquiring him for in a short period. Evan Fournier, he was a bright spot on the Celtics, but now him and Kemba Walker are on the New York Knicks. So that's what I mean, that with the Knicks' improved roster, with them two players, and being that them two players just came from Boston, we gotta win this first game. That's all I'm saying, because if we don't, like I said, ESPN, Fox Network Sports, any one of the shows you watch, they will be giving it to the New York Knicks. And I really don't care, because I already have the Knicks going into the playoffs. One of my subscribers actually commented and said they had the Knicks going 3rd seed, and I actually agree with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I meant to write your name down so I can definitely hit you up and give you a shout out. But if you're watching this video, you know definitely who you are. We'll go back on your comment section, and I would definitely shout you out on my next video. But anyway, he said we can go to third seed in Eastern Conference, and I agree with him. Excuse me for a second. I agree with him. I definitely do agree with him. The Knicks, we do get a break this season, because 11 of our first 19 games are played at the Garden, and 12 of our first opponents are against teams that didn't even make the playoffs. So I'm not going to say that them teams, I don't like overlooking anybody, you know what I'm saying? That people overlooked the New York Knicks last year, and look where we were at. We had a 43-31 record because we was overlooked. And now I doubt if we be overlooked this year. So I'm not going to overlook none of the teams that I just said, that I ain't mentioned them by name, but I did say 12 of the first opponents are going to be teams that didn't make the playoffs. So I'm not going to overlook none of them teams. But if we want to go how these so-called experts would do it, then the Knicks should have a pretty good start, and we should get out the gate with a good record, especially going into the New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Because season starting in October, basically 2 months left. Going into New Year's, we can have a good start, because right after we come out of the New Year's, it's going to get brutal. It's definitely going to get brutal for the New York Knicks. And what I mean by that, because by mid-February, not even mid-February, by February and by March, we're going to have a 5-game Western Conference road trip. And then soon as we come off that road trip, we're going to have a 7-game road trip. So we're not really going to be playing back for like almost 12 to 13 games. We're not going to be at the Garden. So them will be games that we're going to be away from home. And that Western Conference trip is going to be brutal. Matter of fact, let me see who will we be playing on that. Once we get out there west, who will we be playing? I'm saying, let's go right here. Let's get said like February to March. Well, I'll give you right now February to March, and see that what teams that we will be playing. We'll start off. We're gonna start off in Memphis, then Los Angeles Lakers, then Utah, Denver, Golden State, Portland, OKC. Then we come back home to Brooklyn. We still gonna be away. Matter of fact, Brooklyn is a home game. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma is also a home game. Miami's going to be a home game. That's coming back in February and March. Then we're going to be at Sacramento. We're going to be at Philadelphia, Phoenix, back to Clippers, Sacramento. That's going to be March. For March 2nd, we're going to be in Philadelphia. March 4th, Phoenix. March 6th, LA. But the Knicks going to have when the season starts, it's going to be relatively smooth. Like I said, if I would be one of them experts and just overlook any other team, but we should have a good start to the season, especially if our team gel right away. So we'll get a glimpse of that in preseason. But there's 4 games that I really want to see when the season starts, and that's going to be Milwaukee, the Lakers, Atlanta, and Brooklyn. Milwaukee, I want to play them because they are the champions, and we can get a good fit where we at. But LA, I like the matchup. Matter of fact, let's just look at each one of them teams. Let me see. What I said, Milwaukee. Who we going to be? We're going to have Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez. That's their projected starting 5. And I just want to gauge the Knicks against the Lakers, the Hawks, and the Nets, and Milwaukee's with all starting 5. Especially when we get to the Lakers, because the Lakers is an all-star team. I'm being honest with you. If you look at the Lakers, everybody say they're an old team, but it's an all-star team. You got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and Dwight Howard. And I ain't even talking about their supporting cast. I'm just talking about the projected starting 5. Look at that team right there. So a lot of people getting down on the Lakers, but the Lakers, if you put it on paper, they got a good-ass team. Then we're going to go over to the Hawks. I don't know. Like I said in my last video, I didn't really talk about the Hawks because I think, like I said, people thought the Knicks was the fluke. I felt the Hawks was the fluke. And the Hawks really didn't make too much of significant changes. But they signed a few people. But their projected starting 5 is supposed to be Trae Young, John Collins, Clint Capella, Brogdon Bogdanovic, Cam Reddish, and Sharif. I'm just throwing Sharif Cooper in there because the way he was playing in their summer league and the addition that they had, I think this dude can slide somewhere. I don't know, something might happen in the injury, but that's why I just threw him in there honorary starter. But let's get over to the Brooklyn Nets. We already know they started, and them actually too have an all-star team. But I actually kind of like the Lakers better than I like the Nets, even though I'm rooting for the New York Knicks. So I just want to judge the Knicks where we could come out and beat the Lakers and come out and beat the Nets. Well, it's going to be James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. I'm not saying that they're starting 5 because I doubt they start Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan at the same time. I could see DeAndre Jordan and what's the guy, Claxton, you know what I'm saying, or maybe Griffin and Claxton, or whoever they signed recently. But I really can't wait till the season start because these are 4 teams that I want my team to go up. And actually, we go up against the Lakers kind of early. Milwaukee too. The 5th of November, we go against Milwaukee. That's just basically right after the season started. And then on the 23rd of November, we play against the Lakers. Let me just put it back to Milwaukee. That game will be on ESPN at 6:30, and we will be at Milwaukee. And then the Lakers will come to us at the Garden on the 23rd, 7:30, a TNT game. And then we'll go to Atlanta at another 7:30 game, but that game will be on MSG. And then we got the Brooklyn Hawks, the Brooklyn Nets, and that's a TNT game at 7:30. But you know what? I was just noticing for the Knicks this year, we have a lot of nationally televised games. And to be exact, we have 7 games that's going to be on NBA TV. Then we have another 7 games that's going to be on TNT. And then we have 12 games. 12 games that's going to be on ESPN. And then 3 games that's going to be on ABC. When the last time the Knicks played 3 games on Channel 7? When the last time? We usually only play Christmas. They give us Christmas and some Martin Luther King days. But it never be 3 games, so I say 2. So the Knicks, they put themselves in a really good position last year by coming out and shocking a lot of teams. And we're going to shock a lot of people this year too, because even though we was 43-31 last year, I'm going to give them 10 more wins. I'm being honest, I'm going to give them 10 more wins. So it was a 72 season. We're going to go back to 82. So I'm going to give the Knicks 10 more wins. And the 3 games that's going to be on ABC, that's going to be on Sunday. Let's go with the first game. That's going to be against the Lakers. That's a Saturday on February the 5th. And then February 22nd. Oh, the Lakers game is going to be 5:30. Excuse me. And then the Sunday, February 22nd, we'll play against the Philly That's 1 o'clock afternoon game. And then Sunday, March 13th, we got the Brooklyn Nets, and that's another 1 p.m. game. Well, historically, the Knicks haven't done good in the afternoon, but this is a different team, so I'm looking out for a different outcome. But I like the way the season, I should have ran up. If y'all wanted to comment, I'll go game by game, but this is a recording, so next time. But just looking at the schedule and me being an expert, I'm just messing with you. I'm looking at it. We start our first game off at Boston, then we play Orlando back to back, then we go to Philadelphia, then Chicago, New Orleans, Toronto, Indiana, Milwaukee, then Cleveland. That's our first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. And I don't know. Out of that first 12 games, I honestly think we can either split that, or we can walk away with a 7-5, or we can actually, I know we gotta wait till preseason, so I ain't gonna get ahead of myself and see how everything, fold, see how the team gel. And the Knicks they signed C.J. Walker, and I like his shooting, to be honest with you. So there might be some competition there. I don't know. So the schedule looked favorable for the New York Knicks. I mean, you never know when a season jump off, but I'm really feeling the way the schedule came out for the Knicks and the players that we acquired. I think the Knicks gonna have a good year. And like I said, one of my subscribers said we're gonna be 3rd seed. And I know people that's not a Knicks fan gonna be saying, oh, they could have hopeful, wishful Knicks thinking, but I definitely agree with them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me if y'all think the Knicks will fall in what position when it come time for the playoffs, and then where will we fall in the Eastern Conference if we make the Eastern Conference Finals. I know a lot of y'all gonna be happy as hell because I'll probably be dancing on my damn desk. But either way, just tell me what y'all think about the schedule. We'll look up the schedule yourself and then hit me back in the comment section and tell me where y'all think the Knicks gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even think, well, them so-called experts don't even have the Knicks making the playoffs. But I'm a true blue Knicks fan, and I believe the Knicks is going to go to the championship. The season ain't started yet, so that's where my heart is at, the championship. But anyway, you know my old saying. I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.